Okay. Hi, Vivienne. Can you please introduce yourself in short?
Yeah, so I'm Vivienne, I'm 22 years old, I'm from Germany, and I'm doing my master's in finance here at Uni Lee. And I moved to the dorms or to Liechtenstein in September 2020, so half a year ago, a bit more.
So you weren't here during the first lockdown, the one in 2020, but you were here during the second lockdown.
Yeah, exactly. And I actually stayed in the dorms for the whole time, so I didn't really go home over that time period.
So what made you stay here during the lockdown? What made you not want to go back home like many other people did?
I mean, I kind of have my life here. I have my room here, like the dorms, and back home I'd have to move back in with my family, and I didn't really want to do that. And I felt that there was a great community here, especially during the lockdown as well, and we kind of supported each other. Um, and I mean, of course, we were in quarantine for a while, so we couldn't really go home. But after that, I did decide to stay here as well, and I had a very good experience overall.
So you don't regret staying here during the
No.
lockdown?
No.
Okay, that's perfect. What are some of the advantages or disadvantages of the lockdown while living? Because I also work here during Corona times, maybe 2020 in general.
I think the advantages of the dorms and Liechtenstein in general was, yeah, it was quite badly hit in the second lockdown, but the dorms, it was still a place where you could have some sort of social life. So you would see your flatmates cooking, or you could meet up outside with people also from the dorms, and you never felt alone here. Um, I guess the disadvantages were that, I mean, everything was closed, I guess, but that was the case anywhere in Europe or in the world pretty much. And I mean, I also have a job, so I always had to go into work, or I still have to go into work. There was no home office, so there was always a bit of a fear of COVID and catching COVID, bringing it back into the dorms. So I guess that was some sort of disadvantage, that we live so close together, everyone. But after we all had COVID here, I think that wasn't so much of an issue anymore.
That sounds pretty nice. Can you tell us a little bit more about your daily routine and how that has changed during Corona times?
I think not just me, I think a lot of people have kind of gotten into more like a healthy lifestyle, or at least I have, in terms of cooking, in terms of what food I eat, how I can boost my immune system, especially because of COVID. Also trying to work out or exercise, or keeping a healthy work-life balance as well. And because we're basically in the mountains, it's always been really nice here to go for walks and to spend time in nature. And I think living in Liechtenstein, especially during a lockdown, I think we were quite privileged, and I think I've used these opportunities very well.
That is very nice to hear, first of all, that you use the quarantine to your advantage. How did the social support in the dorms help you get through, especially the, I think, 3-week long lockdown? Because it would be detrimental for many people to be in lockdown for that long.
Yeah, I mean, I think you also remember, I think there were times when we were all quite desperate, and everyone was kind of losing their mind, and it was really, really hard, but we were all in the same situation. I think that's what got us through it, even in the hotel where we had to quarantine. I remember speaking to Albertina like on my balcony or something, and it was just the fact that we were all in the same situation. None of us could leave, and we just kind of had to, stick it through, and be grown up about it, and so on. So yeah.
Exactly, I feel the same way. And in the end, what do you expect in the future in general, and how do you believe that the future, our daily routine, our daily lives will change from now on because of Corona?
That's a very good question. I think people will adapt their lifestyle more to what it was during the lockdown, and will maybe have a different perspective on life in general, and to not take things for granted anymore, like traveling or seeing friends that don't live so close, and these kind of things. And then of course I think there will be a lot of more online stuff happening, online teaching, virtual meetings, and so on. But I do hope that we all take something from it and take all the bad times and see what we learn from them and move forward with that in the back of our minds.
Do you think that maybe these changes, like the online meetings and online school, is necessarily a good switch? Or would you prefer the traditional way of going to school, going to work?
Yeah, I definitely prefer the traditional way, but I do think that we can incorporate some aspects like Zoom meetings or make some courses available online for people who are spending a semester abroad, some small things like that. But I do hope that things will go back to like in person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. And would you like to add anything in the end? Some sort of tip, some sort of thing that you would like to express?
I mean, just overall, I can add that I do think that the dorms was probably the perfect place to start my studies, to you know, meet people, make friends, spent my lockdown here, and I'm very glad I experienced it here in this place.
Yeah, and I'm glad I was there with you.
Yeah.
Vivienne, thank you so much for your interview.
You're welcome.
Thank you.